What's up, guys? This is Chr0n0Tr, and welcome to my second rant video. Last video I talked about Cartoon Network and how it sucked. Well, now it's time to talk about Nickelodeon. So, where to begin? Nickelodeon. Well, that show's been my favorite for a long time. Geez. That was actually the network I went on the most, and now it pretty much sucks altogether. I mean, completely. So let's start from where it started to suck. So I have to think all the way back to the times of Rocket Power and Rugrats, Stickly, Hidden Temples, Hey Arnold. No, that's when those shows were good. But I would say the latest stuff is actually, Nickelodeon used to be really good. I think the thing that's killing Nickelodeon the most for me is the whole Big Time Rush sensation. And I say sensation because that's what it really is. I hate it with all my guts and heart and everything. Heart is part of your guts. But it's just... man, Nickelodeon. So basically, their newest thing is Big Time Rush started out as a show, and then Nickelodeon said, "Hey, let's make some money." So they turned it into a band that lip sings to hell. I mean, stop the music, and they'll just be screaming. No, they're talented lip singers, whatever you say, but it still sucks. And then they did the let's make Nickelodeon all about Big Time Rush. And so every time they switch blocks from show to commercial, they'll be playing a Big Time Rush song. And they'll have like ice creams walking up in a place, and they'll be like, ice cream, Nickelodeon, And then they started doing, this is basically talking about the block schedules, how they change from show to commercial to show to show. And then they did like the characters where it's like, they'll open their mouths and they'll burp or growl or something, and that was freaking stupid as well. And it just... Let's talk about the shows, some of the shows I hate the most. I would have to say the top show that I hate the most, that I actually get with my cable package, is, I don't know, I mean, I don't have certain shows because of my cable package settings. But, I would have to say any animated show they've ever done is freaking terrible. No, Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy effing Neutron was a good show. Hands down. I love the characters, love the actors. Even though it started as a movie, it's still awesome. So Jimmy Neutron animated show, awesome. After that, it sucked. They did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is their newest animated thing. That is Japanese to hell. I mean, I've seen some really good Japanese anime, such as Toonami's Cowboy Bebop or Naruto. But I'm not really into anime because it's kind of, not my thing. I like, American-grown cartoons, but some is good. But they took Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, animated it, gave it stupid one-liners, and then made it anime. Like, you got the whole run with your arms behind you. It just sucks. It just really sucks. I hate that show. And it's poorly animated. It's like, in Jimmy Neutron, it was like they'd raise their arms to get a glass off the table, and it'd be one fluid motion. They'd raise their arms, grab the glass, drink. This, it's like their arm jerks into place, jerks up, grabs the glass, just some Japanese anime on their faces, and then drinks. It's really stupid. They've killed the whole Ninja Turtles. I mean it. So that sucks. And they did Robot and Monster, which I think failed, and that was just stupid to begin with. And they did their other shows. I can't really go into details because I never watch their shows anymore. Except for the occasional SpongeBob, Fairly OddParents, or Avatar. But, yeah, then they did Big Time Rush, Jonas Brothers. I think Jonas was Disney, but Big Time Rush, that was stupid. They did all the live action. They did iCarly, Sam and Cat. This is pretty updated. The most up to date video I think on YouTube of a rant, but that sucked altogether. And then they took SpongeBob and Fairly OddParents. They gayed it up. I don't mean stupid. I mean they added tons of gay characters in, which were already in there before, but now they kind of accelerated on it, which will get me some hate in the comments. They made it grosser. SpongeBob was always kind of innocent. It had its moments, but it was funny. But the biggest incident being where one of the episodes, Squidward's house was covered. I think he was trying to remodel for this fancy living or something. And his house, SpongeBob did something to his house to paint the walls blue. And so they were moving a couch so they could clean up the mess. Sorry about that, guys. My throat's getting kind of dry. Hold on. I've been talking so much. So they're trying to move the couch. And of course they try to make it funny. SpongeBob didn't hear Squidward say, pick it up. And so SpongeBob picked it up and pushed it. And Squidward didn't pick up his end. And so it went into his nail. And like pushed the skin and everything backwards. And then Squidward says, pull it off. Or pull the chair off my foot. And then SpongeBob pulls, and the nail, like, with skin and blood and stuff, not really blood, but skin and stuff, like, gets ripped off Squidward's foot, and it falls on the floor. And SpongeBob slips in it. That's disgusting. It's freaking gross. I don't want to... A 5-year-old's going to laugh at that, yeah, because they don't know. But, especially for someone who's watched SpongeBob since it very first came on, and loved it, it just killed it. And then they added the gay references and stuff that a little kid, of course, wouldn't notice, but then someone else would. So that pretty much killed SpongeBob, and they're pretty much stupid now. I mean, there's one episode where Patrick and this monster are like trying to out-stupid each other for like 5 or 10 minutes. There's no story there, there's nothing, just stupidity. So, I hated that. So, SpongeBob died on me. The only chance of it ever coming back to life is if I go on. And, sorry, it's an old episode. And the movie sucked, by the way. I'll just throw that out there. Let's go to Fairly OddParents, another show that started right about the same time as SpongeBob. Fairly OddParents, I think, is still pretty funny now. Started off being funny, and then it was funny for a long time. But then they added Poof, the baby, and Foop. That was freaking stupid. The whole episode about them fighting and stuff was so really dumb. And it started to get kind of bad. Every time that an episode focused, I mean, yeah, Fairly OddParents was still good. But whenever they focus too much on the baby, it kind of takes away from Timmy. Especially Timmy's dad. Timmy's dad was hilarious throughout the whole thing. It still kind of is. But some of the episodes are stupid. You always have your down days. And then they added the dog. I think it's Sparky or something. Not to be confused with Flipsy, which is one of my favorite jokes in the Fairly OddParents universe thing. But and then they added Sparky, and that killed the whole show for me. Adding a magical talking dog who sounds Canadian. No. So sometimes I'll catch a good episode, sometimes I won't. Fairly OddParents is still hanging on to the edge. SpongeBob, of course, is falling in. So those shows suck. Well, I mean, reruns are okay, and newer ones are good. But SpongeBob, no. SpongeBob has lost its thing after they did that. So you have some classic shows like Drake and Josh. That was a really good show. Josh Peck and all that. It was really stupid. It was kind of like iCarly, but iCarly wasn't. I don't know. they got this whole thing on Nickelodeon about disrespecting like authority figures and stuff, which is really annoying. It's like it just gets annoying. It's like, hey, can you go clean up that mess? And they say something witty and a one-liner, and they walk away, and they have the fake laughter. That's so stupid. So Drake and Josh still had that kind of thing going, but it was funny and creative. I mean, I think what was the episode where Josh wanted to surprise their parents, so they hired some guys to remodel the house, and they get home and like everything's stolen. That was a funny episode, but you can't find that anymore. So, Drake and Josh was good. You had Rocket Power, that was even older than SpongeBob and all that. I mean, not all that. That's actually a show though. But Rocket Power was older than SpongeBob and Fairly OddParents. I think SpongeBob was 2000s. Rocket Power started mid-90s. So Rocket Power was cool. I liked the whole, shoobies and... Oh man, I forgot... Geez, I remember the theme song, but I forgot some of the characters' names, but I just loved that whole show. Rugrats, I liked that show just because it showed the minds, or it was like a view through a bunch of babies. You never had a show like that before, so that was pretty cool. What else? There was one really old show called like, it was something Ginger or something, and My Life is Told by Ginger or something like that. I never got into that show, never. They had Doug, that was an older one. I didn't really like Doug, just because it had its moments, and it wasn't because it was like modernized, it wasn't because it was gross. I just didn't really like the whole thing. Kind of got boring for me. You had All That, which is not All That like all the TV shows, but All That the show. That was pretty cool. You saw some stars there. I mean, Kenan Thompson, he starred in a lot of Nick shows, and he went on to do some... He's on SNL right now. He's actually one of my favorites on there. But All That, I love that show. Kenan and Kel, it was okay. I mean, it had its moments, like I said. Clarissa Explains It All. I like the ones that were kind of... I like my favorite being the horror one. That's pretty cool. Are You Afraid of the Dark? That show was incredible. I loved the heck out of that show. Just because people they told stories, and then they explained it. Like most shows now, they'll tell a horror story, have it scare you, end the episode. This one kind of explains it sometimes, which was kind of cool. So that was a good show. Stickly, it was okay. I wouldn't really count it as a show, more like a little block thing, but it was still pretty good. And they had all the game shows, Legend of the Hidden Temples. That was awesome. Global Guts. All of those shows were pretty cool. So Nickelodeon, back in its 90s. Oh, but I do want to mention one newer show that could have sucked, but it didn't, was Ava-freaking-Tar, or Avatar. That was a new show. Like, it was new. Not SpongeBob new. It was like around the same time Adventure Time, or regular, it was about the same time that Big Time Rush came out. But man, I love the heck out of Avatar. I mean, I'm not talking about the blue people. I'm not talking about the Avatar movie where Sokka is pronounced Soka and Aang is Ong. Like, hi Ong. But Avatar the show. If you like cartoons, you got to watch Avatar from season 1, episode 1 to the end. It's just an awesome show. It's about this airbender whose people gets killed and he wakes up in a glacier. And it's about him mastering 4 elements. And just the characters were awesome. I mean, there was comedy in it. You have to have the comical character, the comic relief. The acting, well, it's a cartoon, so it's voice acting, but it was still funny and creative. I mean, all this has never been thought of before. And then they did the after Avatar ended, they did the other Avatar movie with the girl Avatar. I didn't like that one because, number one, they went way too far ahead in the future. I would like to see some, more Aang, Sokka, Katara in action, Toph. It's okay, I guess. But I haven't seen a new episode for that show. So, that's pretty much all I want to talk about, is just those few. It wasn't as long as my last rant. But, I'm going to touch up on that. But, Nickelodeon still has some life in it. Cartoon Network is dead to me. It's dead to me. But Nickelodeon is... It's like I said, it's hanging on the edge. It has some shows that are like fingers on the edge. You got SpongeBob. No, SpongeBob's dead. I'm sorry. Well, no. Nickelodeon is alive for these reasons. Number one, they got 90s or all that. I can watch all the shows I used to watch as a kid on Nickelodeon at night. So that's one finger on the edge. You got reruns of SpongeBob. They haven't stopped. I mean, they play more newer ones. We still got SpongeBob, which the classic SpongeBob's. That's two. Fairly OddParents still can be funny, but they have their bad moments. That's three. That's about it. That's three fingers on the edge. So they're still hanging on, but at any moment that could just fall through. So that's that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little rant. It was short on the Cartoon Network, but I kind of got my point across. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you in future rants and future stuff. Thanks, guys. Chr0n0Tr out.